Discover how I transformed my parents' demand at my sister's wedding into an inspiring victory. Emma brushed a strand of hair behind her ear as the smell of coffee and grilled cheese filled the air of the diner. Day after day, she watched her younger sister Claire revel in picking out lace and ribbons, her excitement creating a stark contrast to the turmoil swirling within Emma. The clock ticked mercilessly, counting down the days until Claire's extravagant wedding. The kind of wedding that belonged only in fairy tales, not in their small Midwest town where the community resembled a tight-knit family struggling to keep their heads above water. Emma gritted her teeth. Her parents were sacrificing everything, building up their fragile dreams on the back of Clara's big day, and Emma couldn't help but feel lost in the chaos. Each night after her shifts, Emma would collapse into bed, her heart heavy with unfulfilled desires. She had art school dreams, but the reality was starkly different. Instead, she stood behind the counter serving burgers and fries, trapped in a cycle she couldn't escape. The applause for her sister felt deafening. Claire was the perfect daughter in everyone's eyes, while Emma felt like a shadow. Just before they turned the lights off in the diner, she often found herself gazing out the window, wondering if her dreams would ever see the daylight. Then came the moment that shook her to her core. Emma learned about the financial sacrifices her parents had made. They had drained their savings, stretched their credit cards, all in the name of perfection for Claire's special day. The weight of their expectations pressed down on Emma like an anvil, igniting fierce moral conflict within her. Should she continue to suppress her own desires in that small diner, or should she voice her feelings and risk disappointing her family? She imagined her parents watching her with disappointment, as Claire slipped down the aisle, wearing the dress of her dreams. Memories of late-night shifts, of aching feet, and of dreams she'd shoved aside danced in her mind. Each reflection deepened her pangs of inadequacy. It felt like drowning in an ocean of expectations, yet just when she thought she could barely hold on, clarity washed over her. It was time to reclaim her narrative, to honor her own voice amid the wedding bells. With the clock ticking down, she steeled herself for change. Just moments before Claire walked down the aisle, Emma's heart raced, the air thick with tension. This was it. Gathering her family and friends around her, she poured her soul out. "I've worked hard for this family," she said, her voice breaking. "Every shift, every sacrifice was for love. I am so proud of Claire. But I can't watch you bury yourselves for a wedding that isn't me." Tears streamed down her cheeks as she saw the surprised looks on her parents' faces softening into understanding. This was a moment charged with emotion, transcending the ordinary. The strain of expectation began to dissolve as she spoke her truth. And just as the wedding music swelled, Emma felt something shift, a ripple effect of support among her loved ones that had been so elusive. But as eyes gazed toward the altar and the ceremony pressed on, she faced an impending question. How would she reconcile her identity with the family's expectations moving forward? This powerful moment of vulnerability left everyone, Emma included, wondering if she could finally embrace her true self amidst the love and chaos that surrounded her. Emma stood there, heart pounding, as the wedding music enveloped her like a soft embrace. She glanced around. The moment she had spoken her truth had felt monumental, yet the looks exchanged among family members told her that this was only the beginning. As Claire made her way towards the altar, dressed in her ivory gown, Emma's gaze shifted to her parents, whose faces mirrored a spectrum of emotions. Confusion, pride, fear. What kind of daughter dared to disrupt the fairy tale that everyone seemed to want? But deep down, she knew this was more than just a wedding, it was an awakening. A little voice inside her head whispered doubts as Claire took each step, radiant under the floral arch. What would become of the family dynamics now? Could she really live with the weight of change? It felt like pushing a boulder up a hill, daunting and unyielding. "Just breathe," she muttered to herself as she wiped a stray tear from her cheek. She knew she had to navigate this new territory with care. The ceremony continued around her, vows were exchanged, laughter erupted, and yet the echo of her own words still resonated in her bones. She had broken the silence, and now there was no going back. After the ceremony, as the reception took shape with twinkling lights and clinking glasses, Emma felt pulled like a tight string between her family and her own aspirations. Speaking her truth had been liberating, but now it seemed like a rift had formed, a gulf between the road paved by her parents' dreams and the path she yearned to carve out for herself. "Emma, come dance." Claire called out, her smile bright and innocent. Emma's heart softened. Her sister was blissfully unaware of the tornado brewing underneath their family surface. Yet how could she dance in celebration when her own life felt like it was caught in a still frame, stuck in the past? The music started and Emma found herself swept onto the dance floor. She twirled, forcing herself to smile, joining in the joy around her. As she moved, she caught snippets of laughter and joy. Friends surrounded her, all encouraging and supportive, yet she was acutely aware of the heaviness that lingered in her chest like a stone at one point. Her mother approached her, hesitant. "Emma, I didn't mean to put so much pressure on you," she murmured, her eyes searching Emma's for understanding. "We wanted the best for Claire, but I see now you deserve that too." Emma's chest tightened at her mother's honesty. There it was, the realization. Could they find a way to honor both her sister's wedding and her own aspirations? The road ahead seemed bumpy, but the flicker of hope began to ignite a tiny flame within her. "Mom, I just need you to see me," Emma replied, her voice steady. "It's not about overshadowing Claire. It's about letting each of us shine in our own light." Just as her mother nodded, looking more hopeful than before, a loud crash sounded from the other side of the room. Heads turned, conversations quieted, and gasps echoed as a large display of wedding gifts toppled over. Emma's heart dropped. This was not what anyone expected. With all eyes now on the mess, Emma felt the moment shift once again. It was a signal, an urgent reminder that life was unpredictable. Would this throw their family back into chaos? Or would it be an opportunity for unity once more? As the chaos ensued, Emma's heart raced with mixed emotions. She was unsure if this moment would lead to destruction or a chance for redemption. Could she truly embrace the new balance of her family dynamics? Or was change too much to handle? She stepped forward, feeling the eyes of her family on her once again, pondering both her next words and the path she needed to take. Emma felt the tension in the room tighten like a noose. All eyes were on her as the gifts lay scattered, ribbons fluttering as if tossed by an unseen wind. She took a deep breath, stepping closer to the chaotic pile. The wedding had felt like a tightrope, and now it was unraveling before her, threads of expectation and hope intertwining in a way that seemed almost tragic. "Let us help them," she called out, her voice cutting through the murmurs of shock. A seed of inspiration sprouted within her. Maybe this disaster could become a catalyst for something greater. If she could face the uncertainty head-on, perhaps it would open doors for her family to reevaluate their beliefs and roles. With renewed purpose, she began to gather up the fallen gifts, her hands moving swiftly from one item to another. "Come on, everyone. We can get this cleaned up together. This is still a celebration." Claire rushed over, her gown swishing around her as she knelt down to help. "You're right, Em." Claire's enthusiasm seemed genuine, but Emma noticed a flicker of worry in her sister's eyes, a reflection of her own anxieties. Their parallel paths of joy and uncertainty suddenly felt closer together. As friends and relatives joined in, the atmosphere began to shift. People laughed and shared stories about the gifts, recalling moments from Claire's childhood, and even joking about regifting items that they had no intention of using. It was a community coming together, laughter breaking through the stiffness that had once filled the air. Emma felt a warmth spreading within her. Perhaps the heart of a family was not just unity during celebrations, but also resilience in chaos. As if sensing her transformation, her mother stepped forward again, this time with a soft smile lighting up her face. "You have a gift for bringing people together, Emma. I'm proud of you." Emma glanced back at her mom, the sincerity in her eyes stoking the flicker into an undeniable flame. "And I'm proud of you too. We can redefine what being a family looks like. We can support each other." As the last box was lifted and placed carefully on the table, applause erupted from those present. It was a moment of clarity not just for Emma, but for everyone. This wedding wasn't just about Claire and her new beginnings. It was a moment for growth, love, and understanding for all involved. Claire approached, her eyes shining. "Thank you for saving the day, sister. I don't know what I would have done without you." "Just doing what sisters do," Emma joked, feeling the weight of her earlier doubts beginning to lift. But even as the joy bubbled back to the surface, Emma couldn't ignore the nagging thoughts at the back of her mind. While she had faced the chaos so bravely, what about the future? How were they to navigate their new dynamics? As night fell and the stars began to twinkle above, Emma's heart raced again, not from anxiety but from anticipation. She could feel the winds of change blowing in her direction, promising new possibilities. But would the growing rifts only deepen as they faced their truths together? Suddenly, Claire placed a gentle hand on Emma's arm, pulling her away from the crowd. "There's something I want to talk to you about. It's important." Emma's heart dropped, curiosity battling her nerves. Was this going to be another hurdle or a bridge to understanding? In that moment she realized together they could either fall back into silence or choose to embrace the talk ahead. What would Claire reveal? Would it bring them closer or unravel the bonds Emma had just begun to strengthen? Emma's breath caught in her throat as she followed Claire to a quieter corner of the reception. The clatter and laughter of the festivities faded into the background, replaced by the urgent thrum of her own heartbeat. Claire's expression was serious, her brows furrowed and her lips pressed tightly together as if she were weighing her words on a delicate scale. "Emma," she began hesitantly, "I've been thinking a lot about, well, everything that's happened today." She glanced over her shoulder, ensuring their conversation remained private before continuing. "The wedding, the gifts. It made me realize how much pressure we've been under from Mom and Dad. It's hard to know if we're living our own lives, or just meeting their expectations." Emma nodded, her stomach twisting. "I get it. It's like we're always walking on eggshells trying to please everyone but ourselves. But today it felt different. Maybe we finally have a chance to talk about what we really want." Claire hesitated, her gaze drifting to the dance floor where couples swayed beneath twinkling lights. "What if I told you I want to leave? Move away. Start fresh somewhere where we can be ourselves?" The enormity of Claire's statement hung between them, almost tangible. Leave? But what about everything? Emma's mind raced. What about Mom and Dad? What about the house we grew up in? And what about our family, Claire? It's exactly that. I feel like if I stay, I'm just going to be the version of myself they expect. I don't want to be the perfect daughter. I want to be me. Claire's voice rose, a mix of passion and desperation. I think it's time we both break free." Emma's heart raced at the thought. The concept of leaving their hometown, their family dynamics, it felt both thrilling and terrifying. "I understand. But can we really do that? What if they don't support us? What if they never understand?" Claire reached out, gripping Emma's hand tightly. "We'd figure it out together. We always have. And maybe, just maybe, by making this leap we can inspire them to change too. To see us not just as their daughters but as our own people with our own dreams." With every word that came from Claire's mouth, Emma felt a wave of hope wash over her. Could this really be the turning point they needed? For so long they had tiptoed around their parents' expectations and desires, but now they stood on the brink of something monumental. "Okay," Emma said softly, her voice gaining strength with resolve. "If this is what you want, I'll back you up. But it's going to take work. We need to be honest with them and with ourselves. We'll set the stage and maybe, just maybe, they'll follow." Claire's eyes sparkled. "Yes, we can do this. I can feel that change is in the air." But before they could fully embrace this new vision, Emma felt a chill run through her. "Wait, do you think Mom and Dad will even listen? What if they push back? What if they cut us off?" A cloud of uncertainty lingered as the weight of their reality pressed down on them. They had come so far already, but was this truly a path they could take? Emma's mind whirled with both excitement and apprehension as sudden shouts erupted from the dance floor. A cheer went up in the crowd. Emma and Claire turned, caught between two worlds. The exhilaration of discovery danced in the air, yet the fear of their parents' reactions loomed like a dark cloud. Emma squeezed her sister's hand again. "I guess we have to find out together. Maybe this wedding is about more than just Claire's happiness. Maybe it's the start of something brand new for all of us." Would they find the courage to confront their parents with their dreams? Or would they end up retreating into old patterns, forever bound by expectations that no longer fit? Emma's heart thudded as she pulled away to look at Claire, the joy from the dance floor fading into a distant echo. This was it, an uncharted path loomed ahead, both thrilling and daunting. "Okay, so how do we start?" Claire's excitement was palpable, yet a hint of apprehension seeped into her voice. "Should we talk to them tonight? I mean, while everyone is together." Emma bit her lip, thinking of their parents' faces, the cocktail of worry and love in their eyes. Maybe that's not the best idea. They're already heightened with the wedding. What if it turns into a scene? We could wait until after we're back home, you know? Find the right moment. Claire scratched her head, the light fading slightly from her eyes. But what if we never find that right moment? If we keep waiting, it might never happen. True, Emma conceded, but doubt still lingered in her mind. Let us at least gather some thoughts. Maybe we can write it down, make a plan. It'll feel more solid. As the music pulsed in the background and laughter erupted like summer fireworks, the sisters took a step back, almost retreating into the shadows. Mothers and fathers traded anecdotes, young cousins danced freely, and there exposed, Emma felt the weight pressing against her chest. She wanted this fight, but the air was thick with the fear of losing what little connection remained. Claire's brows knitted together. I've got to do something. I want to tell them about my dreams tonight, just to see their reaction. Her voice was quiet but strong, and Emma felt the gravity of her resolve. No, Claire. I know you're ready, but it might be too much too soon. You know how Dad gets. He'll only think of what he wants for you, not what you actually want. The moment hung between them, the cacophony of the celebration fading around them. A smile crossed Claire's face, but it was tinged with something deeper, in acknowledgement of the daunting task ahead. Maybe if we start small, Claire offered, like just sharing those feelings we talked about. Let them know we want more than their expectations. Even if they push back. Emma argued, a wave of frustration bubbling within her. Even if they don't understand, it might be too painful. Painful, yes, Claire admitted, her eyes softer now, but also necessary. What's worse? Trying and maybe failing, or not trying at all and living in their shadows forever? Emma didn't have an answer. She felt torn between protecting their fragile bonds and the desire to scream her truths from the rooftops. The radical desire for freedom surged inside her. Okay, let us start with Mom and Dad together then, Emma said with unexpected conviction, surprising even herself. Together, Claire echoed, a flicker of hope igniting in her eyes. Time slipped away as they plodded their way forward amidst the smiles and music. Encouraged by their resolve, they shared stolen glances that expressed a new understanding and unshakable bond that would push them through. But in the midst of their planning, they noticed a figure weaving through the crowd, their parents locking eyes with each other, seemingly aware of the secret conversation unfolding behind their smiles. Emma's breath caught in her throat as she watched their mother's expression shift from joy to concern. Do you think they can read us? Emma whispered, fear gripping her. Claire squeezed her hand tighter. This is our moment. We can't hide. We'll make them see us, Emma. Together. As Emma stood, feeling the tug of anxiety mixed with adrenaline, she wondered aloud, what if they never understand? What if we lose everything? With a brave smile, Claire answered, we take the chance. We owe it to ourselves. With every heartbeat echoing the uncertainty of their choices, Emma and Claire prepared themselves for the moment that could change everything. Would they emerge victorious, ready to live for themselves? Or would everything they had feared come crashing down, leaving them wanting? The answer hung in the air, teetering dangerously close, a precarious balance of courage and fear. Emma took a deep breath, her heart racing as the dance floor swirled with life around her. The music was still playing, but it felt muted, almost like a distant echo. She felt a lump in her throat, a reminder of the decision that lay ahead. Claire, let us find Mom and Dad, Emma said, the words tumbling out before she could second-guess herself. Claire nodded, her face a mix of excitement and anxiety. Together, she affirmed, as if that alone could bolster their courage. They stepped away from the lively crowd, a vibrant blur of laughter, lights, and the comforting warmth of family. The sisters crossed the hall, each step an inch closer to an unknown that both terrified and exhilarated them. Emma felt her skin prickling with anticipation. There, at the edge of the gathering, their parents were chatting amicably with relatives, the sparkle of love and pride unmistakable in their eyes. Emma's stomach twisted. These were the very people whose expectations had been a ceiling they struggled beneath for so long. Hey, maybe we should just tell them about your dreams first, Claire suggested, her voice a quiet shot of adrenaline. What if we start with something lighter? Emma replied hastily. Maybe ask them how they feel about the wedding? The thought of discussing Claire's aspirations made her scribble into worry. The stakes felt too high, the pressure too real. Why not both? Claire interjected, her determination blazing. They need to know we're here, alive and real. We can't change things by skirting around the edges. Emma felt the weight of her sister's words, and it sank deep into her. Okay, but we have to stick together. No going off script. Emma grinned nervously, the humor a feeble attempt to break the tension. Taking a step forward, they approached their parents. As they neared, Emma's breath hitched. Her mother looked up, catching their eyes, instantly noticing something in their expressions. "Hey girls. Enjoying the party?" Their dad beamed, pride shining on his face that only moments prior had been a mixture of pride and concern. "Kind of," Emma replied, the word catching in her throat. "She means we've got something to discuss," Claire blurted out, her eyes wide with an urgency that took both Emma and their parents by surprise. Their parents exchanged glances, curiosity lacing their features. "Oh, what is it?" their mom prompted, a frown beginning to show on her forehead. Emma swallowed hard, forcing the words to fall from her lips. "It's about our futures, well, Claire's dreams. And well, ours." "Oh," their dad said jokingly, but his smile faded as he sensed the seriousness. "Is everything all right?" "It's just," Emma hesitated, the barrier holding her back feeling heavy. "We feel like there's a lot of pressure for us to follow certain paths, and honestly we need your support to forge our own." Claire stepped in, her voice rising with resolve. "I want to be a photographer to explore my creativity, and I need you to believe that it's okay. I need to know you'll support me." Emma clenched her fists at her sides, heart hammering. The silence that followed felt infinite, their parents' expressions transforming, uncertainty mixing with real concern. Seeing her sister's courage, Emma found her voice. "And I want to pursue graphic design and work on projects that inspire people. We're not trying to reject your dreams for us. We just want to share ours." From the corner of her eye, Emma noticed the shift, a spark of apprehension shadowed by a flicker of acceptance in their mother's eyes. Her heartbeat was now a steady rhythm, infused with hope. What if they could understand? Mom finally broke the tension, her voice soft yet insistent. "We've always wanted the best for you girls, but what's best for us?" Claire interjected, her voice steady despite the rising stakes. Emma felt the air thicken. The words hung, filled with all they had hoped to shifting within the family dynamic. But would their parents truly hear them? Or would their fears overshadow the truths they longed to express? The silence enveloped them, each breath full of possibilities. Emma and Claire waited, hearts racing, ready to embrace the unknown. Would this moment solidify their journey toward claiming their identities? Or would it spiral into misunderstanding? The answer felt just out of reach, balancing precariously in the air. Emma's heart raced as the silence stretched out like a taut string, ready to snap. She could see the flicker in her mother's eyes, a mix of confusion and concern. It terrified her, but Claire's steadfast presence offered a flicker of reassurance. They had done all they could. Now it was up to their parents. Finally, their father cleared his throat, and the room seemed to hold its breath. "You girls have always been our priority. We just want you to have secure futures, careers that are stable." Emma felt her chest tighten. "Dad, it feels like we're living in boxes you've built for us. I want to create things that touch people, to bring ideas to life. But I need your support to explore that." Claire nodded fiercely, her determination shining through the uncertainty. "And I want to capture moments, to tell stories through my camera. Feels like being a photographer is such a big leap for you both. I need you to believe it's okay to dream differently." In that moment, Emma's mother's expression shifted. A hint of softness crept in, as if she was peeking into a world she'd only known from a distance. "I never meant to pressure you. I just wanted you both to be safe." Her voice trembled, a hint of vulnerability creeping in. Emma's heart ached. "Safety isn't the same as happiness, Mom. We need to feel fulfilled, to pursue what makes us sparkle, not just survive." Claire stepped forward, her voice dropping to a near whisper. "Doesn't our happiness matter more than your fears? Isn't that why you worked so hard for us?" The moment hung heavy, like the thick scent of the catered food surrounding them. Emma exchanged glances with Claire. This was it. They had opened the door, but would their parents walk through? Their dad ran a hand through his hair, the weight of realization dawning on him. "It's just different, that's all. We grew up knowing a specific path. We thought that's what you would want. But we're not you," Claire said gently, her brown eyes full of understanding. "We love you for everything you've done, but we can't follow your exact footsteps. We need to try and see where our paths lead us, even if they're messy. A small silence settled over the family, a moment of introspection before the tide turned. Emma could feel hope whispering louder than anxiety. I guess I'm just scared, their dad admitted, his voice steadier now. Scared of what could happen if you follow these dreams, but I see how passionate you both are. That counts for a lot. Their mother stepped closer, placing a hand on each of their shoulders. We want you to be happy, truly. Whatever path you choose, we'll be there to support you. A sense of relief washed over Emma, and she felt tears prick at her eyes. You mean it? She searched their faces for understanding, relief battling disbelief. Of course, their mom replied, her voice soft and warm. As long as you're careful, we promise. Claire chimed in, a smile breaking through their tension. With this newfound understanding, Emma felt the world shift slightly beneath her feet. Would they really step onto this new journey together? Could their parents truly learn to trust them? And then the unexpected happened. The lights dimmed, and the music ramped up again. The crowd drawing closer to the dance floor where laughter exploded into a symphony around them. Let us celebrate. Their dad shouted above the music, a newfound energy lighting up his face. Stunned but elated, Emma took Claire's hand. Did that just happen? Claire's smile was contagious, both of them giggling like teenagers again, the weight of their conversation lifting like a balloon released into the sky. But as they were swept into the rhythm of the celebration, Emma felt an undercurrent of tension still coiling in her stomach. Would her parents truly be able to let go of their fears, or were they merely masking their concerns with smiles for the evening? Emma's gut twisted with excitement and that nagging worry creeping back. Though the dance floor called to them, life still waited just outside the party's glow, full of challenges yet to come. Could they navigate their new reality with confidence? And deep down, Emma knew that this was just the beginning of their journey to transform dreams into reality. So much hung in the balance, and the real test was yet to come. Would their parents continue to support them through every challenge of following their dreams? The dance floor pulsed with life as Emma and Claire joined the swirling crowd, their worries momentarily cast aside. Laughter ignited around them, sparkling like confetti in the air. They twirled in sync, hands raised high, surrendering to the joy of the moment. Yet, even in the midst of celebration, Emma felt the flicker of anxiety simmer beneath the surface. Can you believe they actually? Claire shouted over the upbeat music, her eyes sparkling with disbelief. Emma laughed, nodding. I know. Felt like a dream. But what if they go back to their old ways? What if this is just a phase? Claire shrugged, though her brow furrowed with concern. We have to keep reminding them, Emma. It's up to us to show them that we can make our dreams real. With each beat of the music, Emma's heartbeat matched the rhythm. They danced as if the future hung in the balance, every spin a promise to themselves. But anxiety churned in Emma's gut. It was like a nagging little creature, whispering fears about taking risks or worse, failing to meet their parents' expectations as the night wore on. Laughter faded into the background, and the newfound warmth from their parents began to feel like a fragile thread, ready to snap. She cast a glance toward their mom and dad, caught up in their own moment of celebration. They were laughing now, but Emma wondered how long that would last. Would they grow tired of supporting dreams that felt so distant and bold? Dance with me, Claire shouted, pulling Emma from her thoughts. They began to swirl again, spinning through the crowd until they stumbled upon an empty corner of the dance floor. Promise me something, Claire said, breathless but serious. If they show any sign of doubt, we take charge. No more hiding from what we want. Emma smiled at her sister's fierce determination. Absolutely. We can't stay silent anymore. A new wave of conviction surged through her. They could shape their own futures, but in the back of her mind lingered the question of how their parents would react when the excitement faded as the final song played, a sweeping ballad that wrapped around them. Tugging at their heartstrings, Claire leaned closer. You think they'll really support us? Like for real? I hope so, Emma replied, her voice barely above a whisper. But what if it's not enough? What if our dreams don't fit into their world? The music ended, and the applause surged from every corner. Emma felt the crowd shuffle around them, the joy of the evening swelling in the air. But when she glanced at her parents again, she saw them share a moment of doubt across their faces as they scanned the partygoers, the weight of expectation settling back in. Hey, let us get some air, Claire suggested suddenly, her smile faltering. We can't think about this now. It's just one night, right? They moved towards the exit, the cool evening breeze greeting them as they stepped outside. The stars twinkled above, a gentle reminder of the vastness of their dreams. Emma took a deep breath. I want to tell them everything. About my plans for the art show, the stories I want to share to really make them feel our passion. Claire nodded, her confidence bubbling again. And I'll show them the photos I've taken. I want them to see what I see. If they can't understand, we'll keep fighting. As they stood in the quiet night, the gravity of what lay ahead settled over them like a cloak. They could feel the reassurance of the past few hours flickering in the air. But the truth was still waiting for its moment. Let us make them believe in us, Claire, Emma whispered, determination igniting in her chest. But seriously, what if it doesn't go as planned? Claire smiled softly, taking Emma's hand. Then we'll plan again. That's how it works, right? We'll just keep growing, pushing. But for tonight, let us just be the dreamers we want to be. With those words, a wave of courage engulfed Emma. They were stepping into the unknown, and she was ready to fight for their dreams. But still, she couldn't shake the lingering dread whispering in her ear. What if, in the end, their parents weren't ready to embrace the dreams that shone so brightly in their hearts? The night held its breath, and as they returned to the warmth of the celebration inside, Emma couldn't help but wonder. What would happen when the applause faded and the reality of their ambitions crashed back in? Would they still be standing strong together? Emma and Claire stepped back into the vibrant chaos of the party, the laughter and cheers pulling them in like a warm tide. The world felt alive in ways that sparked hope, yet doubt gripped Emma's heart even tighter. She squeezed Claire's hand, drawing strength from her sister's presence as they moved back into the crowd. The aroma of fresh hors d'oeuvres drifted through the air, mingling with the scent of cologne and perfume. They navigated through groups of relatives, overhearing snippets of conversations that, at times, felt more like noise than anything real. Emma's gaze darted around, searching for her parents. They were standing near the buffet, animatedly chatting with family friends, but the quick glances they stole at one another told a different story. Was that uncertainty in their expressions? Let us grab some food, Claire suggested, brightening her face. Then we'll find a quiet spot to sit and talk. Emma nodded, though apprehension lingered in the back of her mind. She could almost hear her heartbeat above the music. The thought of having that important conversation made her stomach tighten in knots as they filled their plates. Claire's laughter rang out when a distant relative attempted a dance move that failed spectacularly. It was infectious, causing Emma to chuckle despite her turmoil. See, people are having fun. We can do this, Claire said, her eyes shining with mischief. Let us just forget the serious stuff for now. Emma knew Claire was right, but the weight of what was to come felt like a shadow hanging over her. They found a cozy corner, leaning against each other amidst the distant chatter. The conversations around them blended into a warm hum, a reminder of the support and love surrounding them, but also the expectations lurking in the air. Are you ready? Claire asked, suddenly serious, her gaze steady on Emma. I think so, Emma replied. But I wonder, will they really get it? Will they see how much this means to us? Before Claire could answer, their parents approached with soft smiles, a reflection of the joy that had enveloped them throughout the night. Yet Emma could sense the subtle pressure beneath the surface. Hey girls, their mom exclaimed. Are you enjoying the party? Mostly, Claire chimed in, but Emma remained silent. Her heart raced. This was it. Emma took a deep breath, her resolve crystallizing. Can we talk? About what we want to do. Her parents exchanged curious glances. There was a slight hesitation before their dad replied, of course, sweetie. What's on your mind? The moment stretched, electric with possibility. Emma could feel her heart pounding in her chest as she pushed through the wall of anxiety. Well, I have plans for my art show. I want to exhibit my work in a gallery. I've been working on it for a while now. Their father's brows furrowed, but not with disapproval. It seemed more like concern. An art show, huh? That's a big step. Claire jumped in, her enthusiasm breaking through. And I have my photography. I've got a whole project ready to show. We really believe in this and we want you to support us. Emma's thoughts raced. Would they respond negatively? Would the doubts they harbored resurface? Their mom reached out and squeezed Emma's hand. That sounds amazing, both of you. But how do you plan to make it happen? Emma's heart sank momentarily. It was happening. Their dreams seemed distant already. But then determination surged within her. We want to create our paths. We're willing to work for it. We just need your support. Her mom's eyes softened. We want you to follow your dreams too. But we worry about you. About how you'll manage. Suddenly, the weight of every doubt flickered in her parents' gaze. But so did hope. They were looking at their daughters, registering the fire in their eyes. Can we show you our vision? Claire asked, excitement sparking in her voice. We want your help, not just your approval. Every nerve in Emma's body thrummed with anticipation. It was now or never. They were offering their parents hope, a glimpse of what could be. Would they embrace it? Just as doubt loomed again. A slow smile crept onto their mom's face. Then let us talk. Really talk. Emma felt a weight lift. This was the start, the moment of understanding they had fought for. But could it truly shift everything? In that breath, the future felt possible, yet still uncertain. What if they were opening doors meant to lead to promises of success and discovery? With her heart racing, Emma realized she had stepped into uncharted territory. What awaited them beyond this conversation? Emma stood at the edge of the dance floor, where laughter hung in the air like the glittering lights of the reception. Every twirl and cheer echoed with hope, yet a storm of emotions brewed within her. The conversation with Claire clung to her thoughts like a loyal shadow. They had forged a path toward openness, but now came the moment of truth. Do you think they really mean it? Emma murmured, glancing at her parents, who were still caught up in cheerful company. Claire rested a reassuring hand on her sister's shoulder. Only one way to find out, she replied, her voice steady but soft, like a calming breeze. Before they could change their minds, Emma stepped forward, dragging Claire with her. Their parents spotted them and gracefully waved, expressions warm and welcoming. It was a stark contrast to the gnawing tension in Emma's stomach. Mom, Dad, she began, feeling the weight of her dreams pressing on her chest. Can we talk? Absolutely. Their mother smiled, ushering them closer. What's on your mind? We've been thinking, Claire started, carefully measuring her words. About our futures. We really want to share our plans with you. Emma nodded, matching Claire's determination with a gentle squeeze of her sister's hand. The looks on their parents' faces shifted slightly, curiosity paired with trepidation. Emma's heart raced, and she forced herself to breathe. I want to put on an art show. I've been working hard on my pieces, and I think it's time to share them. Silence blanketed the group, stretching the moment into something almost unbearable. Their dad looked thoughtful, and Emma desperately searched for support in her mom's eyes. That's a bold move, he finally replied. An art show? That's a lot of responsibility. Right, Claire piped up, her enthusiasm cutting through the tension. And I have photography projects that I need to explore too. We want to put ourselves out there and create together. Their mom took a deep breath, contemplative and gentle. Girls, it's wonderful to pursue your passions, but you also have to consider the realities. What if this doesn't work out? Emma's determination wavered for just a second, but she quickly found her footing. Mom, this isn't just a whim. This is who we are. We want to follow our dreams. We need you to believe in us. There was a moment, a pause, and then their dad nodded slowly, his expression softening. And how can we help? He asked calmly, though a hint of worry lingered in his voice. Yes, that's it. Claire exclaimed, eyes brightening. We need guidance. Support to make these dreams real, not just words. Zach, we need to embrace change, their mother said softly. This is a big step for us, but maybe it's time for us to redefine what it means to be a family. A family that lets each other grow. Emma felt the knot in her chest start to loosen. Here it was the moment of connection they had been waiting for. Exactly. It doesn't have to only be about safety. We want our lives to have meaning, to be fulfilling. Her voice trembled with emotion, reflecting the hope filtering through the air. Their father focused on Emma, then Claire, absorbing every word. It seems we've been afraid of encouraging you to leap, worried you'd fall. But if this brings you happiness, then we'll be right behind you. Their mom interjected, her smile radiant and sincere. Emma's heart soared. A collective exhale of relief spread through the four of them, and Claire whispered, So you'll support us? Our dreams? Of course, her dad said, his voice steady with newfound resolution. We just need to do this together. We want you to know how much we trust you. With those simple but profound words, the world around them shifted. Emma's heart brimmed with joy. They were establishing a bond born from love and understanding rather than expectations. Here, in this moment, would they finally be allowed to be who they truly were? I promise we'll work hard, Emma vowed, her voice steady. We'll prove to you that this is for us too. As laughter rang around them and distant music swirled back into their embrace, Emma realized how essential it had been to confront their fears. The overriding sense of pressure had eased, replaced with understanding. It wouldn't be easy, but knowing their parents were by their side, ready to navigate this uncharted landscape, brought a radiant smile to her face. As the couples resumed their dancing, Emma took a step back and finally felt at peace within herself. The future felt ripe with potential, and while uncertainties lay ahead, there was a promise in their hearts, a promise embraced by their family, that the journey would be taken together. And it was all right to dream again. With hearts alight, the echoes of celebration shifted to acceptance, intertwining in a tender dance of love and freedom. Emma took Claire's hand, pulling her into the rhythm of the joy enveloping them. This was just the start of a remarkable journey ahead of transformation, connection, and the vibrant colors they were about to unleash into the world. Now it was time to continue that promise. You need to subscribe now to our channel to not miss the next exclusive stories. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and support our journey. Comment below your reactions and feelings about how Emma and Claire's journey unfolds. And don't wait not even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation.